got rosters now. We've got some live rosters, and I'm able to finish up this team preview for each squad. And I'm jumping in right now on the Golden State Valkyries. And this is one that is drawing a lot of ire from a lot of people. Seemingly, a lot of folks might agree with me on what's going on in Golden State, starting with the fact that the Golden State Valkyries, yes, I'm going to say it again, cut Cheyenne Sellers, despite the fact the coach said she did everything that they asked for. And I know people came back and say, well, she played like trash versus Atlanta. Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. The coach said in Golden State, Natalie Nakasi, that Cheyenne Sellers did everything they asked her to do. And I'm looking at this roster, and this roster is very, very similar, almost identical to the garbage can they had when they did the expansion draft. Let's talk about this. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Talk facts for feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomot. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. If you've noticed, there's a little bit of differences. There are a few differences on this presentation. I'm trying to make it look sharper as we get older as a show and as a podcast. So I want to thank everybody because it's due to y'all that I'm focused a lot on making this podcast as good as it can possibly be. I've always been focused on making it as good as it can be, but also in the graphics department, because all of this stuff that I do is self-taught. I'm watching videos, I'm learning on the fly. So you notice you got the red border, you got the facts or feelings up top. You have these are all the logos on the right. Those are all of the different podcasts that I have under Come On Now, the podcast banner. You know, Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, Combat Corner, Full Court Press, Yankees Unplugged, and Pro Football Corner. So I thank you so very much. Of course, now you see the name on the left-hand side on the bottom of the screen. At least it's on my left-hand side over here. And then all the social media, Cash App, if you want to drop a few dollars. I appreciate you. So thank you so very, very much. Let's just jump in. And let me know what you think of the new setup. Like, do you like it? I hope you like it, because I spent a lot of time working on it over the last day and a half for this one, because I got to break them up into frames and all stuff. And I didn't know I had to do any of that shit, honestly. And I've been watching videos for the last 2 days, and I'm like, oh my God, every single one of these took freaking forever. Yes, I am computer. I'm very literate in computers, but this is graphic work to me. And this is a lot different than just using a computer and recording stuff. You know what I mean? Um, and I did it for this, and I did it for Combat Corner. Now the Combat Corner one is even different, and I got one ready for Sunday Night Heat with Ben Daniels. So you know, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Sunday Night Heat with Ben Daniel, going to be every Sunday going forward throughout the entirety of the WNBA season. So you don't want to miss this. It'll be fireworks every weekend, man. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna still do my Tuesday night live, which I will at 9 p.m. every Tuesday. But Sunday Night Heat is coming, and I'm also in the works of putting together a BKFC show every week as well. So doing a lot of stuff here, brothers and sisters. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so very, very much. Let's look at this roster, man. This roster is embarrassing, man. It's utterly embarrassing. If you look at this roster, this is the roster of the Golden State Valkyries. Everybody on here is pretty much the same, except for Janelle Saluan. She is the only player on this roster. Her and what's her name down here in the bottom? What is her name on the bottom? Kyara Linskins. Those are the only two players that weren't part of the initial roster for the Golden State Valkyries when they did their expansion draft. This is a roster of role players. Now, I know you're not going to get stars when you're dealing with an expansion draft, but you have a roster here that largely is a bunch of role players. Tiffany Hayes was retired 2 years ago. She came back to play for Vegas because she thought she could win, and now she's on the worst goddamn team in the league. Yes, this is the worst team in the league, and it's not going to be close. This team is going to be utterly horrendous. Utterly horrendous. It's ridiculous. You got players that are very, very similar in nature. Veronica Burton, Kate Martin, Tiffany Hayes, Kayla Thornton. I mean, these are these are players that are all similar in nature. I mean, Julie Van Loo's decent, but this is not a team that's going to win anything. And yet they got like 15,000 season tickets sold for this shit. People should be asking for their money back because there's nothing on here. If Temi Feck Bentley's your best post player, y'all in trouble. In fact, Bentley and Monique Billings are basically the same player. They're the same player. This is craziness. I mean, hell, Kate Martin would probably be the leading scorer on this team. I mean, I know some people love Kate Martin and all, but if Kate Martin's y'all leading scorer, man, in the WNBA, they're gonna be really bad. And you know, the fact that they had some cuts this week that had people losing their minds as well. Well, actually, the cuts were yesterday, where they made a couple of cuts and people started going, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" They're losing their minds. Can't say I don't disagree with them. I can't say I disagree. I can't say I disagree with them. But let me see. Who were the? You know, what was the one's name? I saw it. Letitia. I can't. So they cut Letitia Amihari. I don't know how to pronounce her name. They did cut Caitlin Chen. I guess she couldn't survive just on bluntly, she couldn't survive just on the Paige Becker's drafting and the DEI hiring in San Francisco. I guess she couldn't survive that. You don't like it. It's the truth. She had no business even getting this far. You got Letitia Amihari, who was their leading scorer in the preseason. She scored the most points in the preseason. People are shocked about this. It's crazy. I don't know, man. She had she had 20 points against the Sparks in one game. People are going crazy. Here's one. I'm about to lose it if the Valkyries actually let LA go. Chen, a Bay Area fan favorite. Whoa, why do you think that is? Also didn't make the final roster. She electrified the crowd in her fourth quarter debut in the same game against the Sparks. Yeah, I watched enough UConn. She's not very good. Her connection with the fan base made her release a tough pill to swallow for many. That is basically saying that she's Asian and it's a large Asian population. So yeah, they are gone. And this team is not going to be good. This team is not going to be good. I don't know, man. How I don't know how you can get people to come to games when you're putting up a product like this. Like this is not a product worth watching. Who's gonna turn this shit on? I've heard podcasts of people saying, "I love WNBA basketball, and I'm not gonna watch this. I won't watch them. I won't turn them on." I would hope they don't force feed this trash down our throats and try to stick them on TV, to make you watch it. This roster is atrocious. This roster is atrocious. If they win 5 games, that's a stretch. Five games. This might be one of the worst constructed rosters I've ever seen in WNBA basketball. And I've watched WNBA basketball. Like I didn't pay attention like I do now, but this roster is awful. And yet you cut your leading score, actually the two people that scored the most points in the preseason, and you cut the rookie that you drafted. This is a team that doesn't have one single rookie that it drafted on the roster. Think about that. An expansion team drafts 3 players, and not one of the 3 players makes the final roster, and you cut one of them in 5 days, and the other one that everyone knew wasn't going to show up, Giuseppe, we knew she wasn't coming. Why would you do a draft and stash? Why would you draft and stash? You want your fans to quit immediately? Like, there's one thing I'm a Miami Heat fan. I experienced as a teenager the 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 expansion of a team and having a team be awful. But people had hope. People had hope. The rookies that they drafted made their team. They played. They were good. I mean, you're talking about Ronnie Cycli, Glenn Rice, Willie Burton, these guys, Steve Smith. These guys were good players at the time. And there was hope. If you're in Golden State, if you're in San Fran, the Oakland area, and you're looking at this, you're saying, like, there's no hope. This is awful. This is an example of the complete lunacy in the WNBA. Draft picks, 3 draft picks, and not one of them motherfuckers are on this team. That's crazy. And you cut one in 5 days. You tell me again about the WNBA and the decisions that are made by these fucking executives that don't have any idea what they're doing. But they'll cash a check this year. Because of those 15,000 season ticket people that bought tickets this year, from what I've read, a lot of them are going to cancel after a year. They'll cancel. They may have sold tickets, but they're gonna have a lot of half-empty buildings. Watching 20, 30-point losses every fucking night is not gonna be enjoyable. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like I said, 5 wins. This is the worst team in the league. It's not gonna be close. They suck. Their roster's trash. It is what it is. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate y'all. And again, let me know what you think of the new design here. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Facts over feelings. Come on now.